few days before everything changed. Friday. We're all in the top class, the schemers and the psychers. We're two gangs of 11-year-olds, and we don't get on. There are constant skirmishes, and if Mr. Happer, the head, finds out, we get 2 rulers off him. Miss Wood takes us out to the school garden every Friday, if it's fine, to, as she says, get some fresh air and read our books. We mostly weed the beds, plant seeds, and plan how to inflict horrid tricks on each other. Brian Yeoman's a schemer, and he eats worms. Then, when you're not looking, he shoves a couple down your neck. Paul, Alan and Keith are the other schemer boys, and the 2 Lindas are their hangers-on. They all live on Brent Street in the scheme. The other gang, the Psychers, live in the village close by and are always accusing the schemers of starting everything. But they're not the innocents they make out to be. Stuart Astin's the worst. But there's Billy Jones and his twin sister Margaret. Howard and April too. Butter wouldn't melt in their mouths. When we play French cricket, Stuart always aims to hurt the batter when he bowls with his corker. Even members of his own gang get it. We all end up with huge bruises on our legs. He's vicious. Saturday. There's a battle royal planned in the Delph. The Psychers take the shortcut through the school garden and out over the wall to the top field, which leads down to the steep-sided defunct quarry everyone calls the Delph. They aim to get there first and take the high ground. Howard has his go-kart with him, as always, and uses it mostly to pull a bucket along. We're all collecting stones in the bucket for ammo. Round the back of the Black Bull pub, the schemers, the other gang, meet up, and from this vantage point they can clearly see the Psychers coming through the fields. Brian whispers to Paul and Alan, "Get your sticks and get round to the top ridge near the dead tree, and me and Keith will go up the other way, by the stile." Brian is giving the orders today. The 2 Lindas look at each other. Ooh, a pincer movement. We'll just stop on the path down here and watch. But Stuart and Billy have spotted the schemers by the tree, and filling their pockets with stones, they go into attack mode. Margaret and Abel have also noticed the 2 over by the stile and adopt the brazen approach. Yellow belly schemers, hiding behind the stile. We've seen ya, we've seen ya. Brian and Keith show themselves and run past the girls, pushing them over into a pile of mud and making a beeline for Howard, who is just sat on his own cart, not quite knowing what to do. Brian runs up to him and bashes him with a stick, whilst Keith pushes him and his cart over the edge of the Delph. He screams all the way down, landing at the bottom with the cart on top of him, minus 2 of its wheels. Sunday. At church parade, there are a lot of plasters and bandages on shore. The worst is Howard, sporting an arm sling over his Cub Scout uniform, and Paul Abram has a black patch over his eye. He looks more like a pirate, the girls declared. But they were smarting too from parental lashings they'd received because of their torn skirts and ruined white socks. The vicar stared from one child to another as he gave his sermon. There are rumours, he said, that the war in Europe may end soon. So let's all hope that everyone in all age groups heeds this glimmer of peace at last and sets aside petty quarrels for the common good. Monday. Boys and girls, Miss Wood was almost shouting. She's all of a flutter. We expect Mr. Churchill will make an announcement tomorrow about the end of the war in Europe and that everyone can have 2 days holiday to celebrate. The school was agog with all this news. We all have loads of questions. Brian Yeoman shouts out, "When will me dad be coming home?" And one of the Lindas says, "Is this the end of the blackout?" On and on the questions go. Everyone's getting more and more excited. April puts her arm round Margaret. Though her and their Billy lost their dad last year. Tuesday. It's 3 o'clock and the factory hooters are blasting away. All the children sit at the long table and eat beef paste sandwiches and then jelly plus a bun. Everyone's laughing and singing, and some folk are even dancing. Brian has a duffel bag and gives it to Howard. I went up Delft this morning and found these wheels off your cart. If you want to have a go at mending it, Keith says he'll help you. Howard clutches the bag and smiles a thank